Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Philosophical, and these are the types of men that will cheat on you, that don't give you their attention. I know sometimes, 100% isn't always an option. You're not going to give always your 100%, but at least 80 to 90, and just being there at the important times.
You get a smooth 75 from me.
Hey, that's better than zero.
I'm playing.
Number two, you feeling the feeling that sex has completely stopped. The initiation of sex has stopped. A lot of times, this is a mood point to where a man is constantly supposed to chase a woman. Yeah, you're supposed to do that at the beginning, but when you're in a relationship, or even in a committed relationship, or even married, there are times that men want to feel wanted. We as men, we are very visual. And not saying that every man is visual in a way that they're going to go out and cheat, but women have got to come to an understanding that, you're a beautiful woman, but it gets to a point where, seeing you every day, it's got to be something else. Not agreeing with the way, those type of men cheating or anything, but there's sometimes you got to spice it up, and that takes both sides. That takes both parties, not just men, not just women. So that takes both parties in that instance. Number three, the feeling that someone that cannot be trusted, or you don't respect you. These are the type of men that sometimes just feel like at a point that if a man can't trust you, that means a lot of times he has some trust issues and he can't respect you. There could be many different reasons why. Maybe you could be sleeping around, the way he met you, where he met you, how he met you, many different things. And I know that sometimes it's out of our control, but sometimes a man's thinking is out of control, speaking from a man. And point number five, sometimes the feeling that it's just about us. This is a trait that sometimes we can get a little selfish. Whether it's about us, we're trying to achieve a certain goal, and sometimes we're gonna get there whether with you or without you. And sometimes it's just no budging that point at all. And the final point is the fact that not being very ambitious, and doesn't want to do anything past how they've gotten to this point today. A lot of times, a lot of men, we call it the phrase of the Kobe phrase of "you wasn't in the gym shooting with me." Some men take that very personal. Some men take that very to a point where it's like, I built this empire, you weren't here with me. And sometimes that could be an scapegoat for some men to feel like, if you weren't with me during my darkest times, if you weren't with me when I needed you, why are you here now when I have everything? So just to kind of go back on the points, the 6 points of the types of men that will cheat on you. A man that won't give you the attention, just not being there. That's something that is just, it's really no excuse for that. If a man wants to be there, he really wants you, he will make the time to be there. Feeling the sex is completely stopped. Women, we've said this a lot on the podcast, that sex is not, the lack of sex is not a form of punishment. You got to understand that men and women have needs. As soon as you stop that, especially in relationships where the sex is primarily 100%, that could be an issue. Number three, the third point, feeling of someone you cannot trust or respect. This comes both ways, to the fact of how a man meets you, how you speak to him, how you respect him, how you view him, how he views you for your actions and your decisions. Point number five, someone...
Point number four.
I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. Point number four, someone that doesn't respect us. This gets to a point where it can be an overconfidence thing, more of a conceited thing, to where if a woman can, or a man does not, if we don't feel respected, we tend to feel like the world is against us. and we tend to make rash decisions. And that's just somewhat of a mindset of a man. You know, it's so much pressure on us to feel that way that it gets to a point where if we can't come to you, if we're not getting respected, we go somewhere else. Point number 5, selfish ways as far as someone that it's just all about them. A lot of times there's this word, the simp. There's this alpha and beta movements. We've talked about that on this podcast, on this show. That's sometimes used for selfish tactics that we've talked about it plenty of times that we don't agree with. And the last point, not being ambitious. This goes back to not shooting in the gym. If you don't believe in the dream, who are we to consult you about the dream? So those kind of are the types. These are the types of men that will cheat on you.
Yes, sir.
Sealz the man. Take the floor.
All right, thank you for the alley-oop, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this strikes directly to a theory I strongly believe in. I called my theory Sealzisms. One of my subscribers on my earlier video, she said, "Oh man, this is it was something I said." She said, "Oh, this is a great quote. I'm gonna call it a Sealzism." And I was like, "Oh man, that was great. Like I like that hashtag Sealzism." So this is one of my Sealzisms, right? Mm. There's 2 different types of men in this situation, and they're both hunters, right? So you have a hunter who hunts out of necessity. So you have men out there that do the things they do with women out of necessity, right? Then you have the other hunter who hunts for game, who hunts for trophies, who hunts for shine, right? Yep. So good men, they hunt out of necessity. They need you, good woman. They need a good woman in their life. They need love. They need real love. They need support. They need that good stuff, right? Then you got these other fellas who are hunting just to say, yo, guess who I bagged this weekend? So, yep. So men are hunters, but there's different classes of hunters. And so the second class of what I mentioned points to your question of what type of men cheat is and a big part of that is the men who just hunt for fun. They just go out there and they get women and they capture women like it's a game, like it's trophies. They brag about it to their homies. And it builds their fake self-confidence. Like it's not a real self-confidence. It's not a real self-esteem that you're out here just raising your numbers, right? That's not a real thing, man. You're not Ash Ketchum on Pokemon. You just have to like your daddies, right?
Yeah. Look, I appreciate you pulled up Ash. I was going to go with Jason Tatum putting down 50, but hey, Ash Ketchum in the house.
Guess what? He still lost. So are you really winning? These type of men don't think like that. They don't care about the end goal. Like, bro, at one point, you're gonna be 50 years old, right? I'm gonna give it to y'all straight. You're gonna be 50 years old, 60 years old. All the women you thought were waiting for you, while you was like, I'm out here doing my thing. They're wiped up now. They're grandmothers now. They're settled in their lives now. You're out here still chasing this fake, mirage you chase. Like, bro, when are you gonna realize that you need purpose? So men who will cheat out here, they don't really have a purpose or intention behind their moves. It's selfish intentions. They're not thinking about the other woman. So that's one of my takes. Crazy.
That's just one. That's just one. I gave you 6, guys. I gave you 6.
Hey, I was gonna rapid fire it, but at the end of the day, it's my rapid fire is gonna come in 1 point. Same like Sealz said. So, what kind of men will cheat on you? A lot of them. Your daddy, your granddaddy, your zaddy. Your cat daddy, your sugar daddy, they will all cheat on you.
Yep.
Now, Most of the time, if there is a man you have met who tells you to call him any kind of daddy, he is not he is not the type of dude you need to be around. Now, of course, there are exceptions, whatever the case may be, but I ain't your daddy, right?
Yeah.
9 times, well, we'll say 6 times out of 10, you got a daddy or you got a father, and I ain't it.
Yeah.
I'm your partner.
Yeah.
I'm your significant other. I'm the person you share a bed with, but I ain't your daddy.
Yeah.
Don't come at me like that. That's an immediate nah, bruh, that's not me.
Yeah.
So if, just like Seal said, the person who needs to feel like they are in a fatherly role to you, that's because they need to feel elevated in some way.
Yeah.
And real like people who are really there for you, who are really interested in you. Yes, we all have egos. I'm not saying we don't have egos, but that doesn't need to be a part of it. There are different ways that people need to get their ego stroked and most of the time when people are cheating, it's because they are lacking something.
Yep.
And most of the people who are what's it called? Most of the people who need that name, that big up, that ego stroke, it's because they are lacking something. Now we all have, like, I have admitted myself I got self-esteem issues, but I can also say I fortunately have not been in a position to cheat on anybody. It's barely ever crossed my mind. It's like, it's, if I'm not happy, I'd rather leave than break my neck to go cheat on somebody. That's all it is.
Yep. So these are the types of men that will cheat on you. I'm philosophical. I'm out. Peace.
This is Jay Echo. Take it easy.
Sealz the man.